Well, a very good morning and welcome to day one of competition here in Budapest. It's the Budapest Grand Prix. We've got 7 weight categories to bring to you today. Let's start by taking a look at the top 4 seeds in each of those weight categories. And we'll begin with the under 48 kilo category for women. The number 1 seed here is Tassiana Lima of Guinea-Bissau, 4 times African champion and ranked number 10 in the world. The number 2 seed is Chloe Rayner of Australia, looking for her first Grand Prix medal. The number 3 seed is Violeta Dumitru of Romania, and the number 4 seed is the 21-year-old Serb Milica Nikolic. In the under 52 kilo category, well, we've got the pleasure of the company of the double world champion and world number 2, the current world number 2, Mylinda Kelmendi of Kosovo. The number 2 seed is her teammate, Distria Krasniki. So the 2 Kosovans there possibly headed for a head-to-head in the final. The number 2 seed, Distria Krasniki. The number 3 seed, Angelica Delgado of the United States of America. And the number 4 seed, Christiane Legentil. And there's a nice little bit of infighting there. The possibility that Christiane Legentil will face Mylinda Kelmendi. Again, those of you who remember London 2012, it was Christiane Legentil who knocked out Mylinda Kelmendi in that competition. In the under 57 kilo category, the number 1 seed is the Olympic bronze medalist from London in 2012, Marti Molloy. The number 2 seed is Telma Monteiro of Portugal. The number 3 seed is the world champion from 2014, Udaka Nae of Japan. And the number 4 seed is the 2014 junior world champion from Japan, the 21-year-old Tamaoki Momo. I think she won it here last year, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, the number 1 seed in the under 63 kilo category, Tina Trsteniak, the current world champion, Tina Trsteniak of Slovenia. The number 2 seed is Katarina Hecker of Australia. The number 3 seed is Estefania Garcia of Ecuador. And the number 4 seed is the home favourite, Jabo Francisca of Hungary. Okay, that takes care of the top 4 seeds in each of the 4 weight categories that we've got for you today for women. Let's take a look at the top 4 seeds in the 3 weight categories that we've got for men, and we'll start with the under 60 kilo category. The number 1 seed is Sharafuddin Lutfilayev of Uzbekistan. He won't be going to the games, by the way. His teammate is higher ranked than him, and I think they've decided to send Diobek Urezboyev. The number 2 seed is Ilgar Mushkiev. Again, he won't be at the games. It'll be his teammate to go. The number 3 seed is Joshua Katz, and the number 4 seed is Otar Bestayev of Kyrgyzstan. Let's take a look at the under 66 kilo category then. The number 1 seed here is former double world champion Rishad Sobirov of Uzbekistan. Won those 2 world titles in the under 60 kilo category, but now moved up to under 66. The number 2 seed is Sebastian Seidel of Germany. The number 3 seed is Nathan Katz of Australia. And the number 4 seed is Adrian Gombot of Slovenia. All 4 of those fighters will be in Rio. In the under 73 kilo category, the number 1 seed is Igor Vantka of Germany. The number 2 seed is Rok Dracic of Slovenia. The number 3 seed is Jake Benstead of Australia. And the number 4 seed is Gyosjan Boboyev of Uzbekistan. We're about to get underway with the contest there. We've got 4 mats. You can choose whichever of the mats you want to take a look at. But we're going to start with the contests on mat number 2. Andres Klokov of Lithuania faces Andres Romero of Spain. It'll be Klokov in the white judogi and Romero in blue. Sit back and enjoy the action. There's a nice mix of fighters here in Budapest. You've got some youngsters. Neil Adams was talking about the youngsters beginning their push for Tokyo 2020, right here in Budapest. May seem a little bit earlier, but they've got to start getting experience at the senior level. So some of the juniors you may be seeing here today. Look forward as the next cycle comes to its close to see them at the top of the world ranking list. That's Neil's prediction. I'll go along with that. Kind of skipped by a couple of the Japanese fighters in the introduction. Tomoaki Momo, junior world champion. We did mention it. That's in the under 57 kilo category.
Next fight on Saturday 1, men under 66 kilogram, first round in white for Slovenia.
2 penalties picked up by Klokov. Got to be careful here. It's giving the advantage to Romero early on. Had a little stab there at the Yoko Tomoe-nage, but hardly moved Klokov, to be honest. Well, Klokov got turned there. It should be Wazari. Well done from the referee. I think he's from Botswana, that referee, if I'm not mistaken. I remember going to the African Championships a few years ago and seeing him. He was on his way up then, you know. I said on his way up. Well, a nice finish there from Romero. Wazari Awazetti upon it. Gives us a chance to go to mat number 3. Yeah, let's go to mat number 3 if we can. The reason we're going to mat number 3 is we're trying to have a look at Asari Masaya of Japan. He's up against Gorjana Zsolt of Hungary. Asari in the white judogi and Gorjana in blue, and it was Asari who took a bit of a whack to the face there. He appears to be okay now, and we're back underway. No score yet. Trying to work a Kataguruma there, but couldn't bring it off and was blocked by Asari. Caught in there, was it there? Asari looks a little bit unused to the international competition circuit. We'll have a little look and see what he's been up to previously. Anyway, coming up next, Baruch Shmailov of Israel faces Marko Vukicevic of Serbia. It'll be Shmailov in the white judo gi and Vukicevic in blue. First minute gone, no scorers yet. Both fighters looking to get settled here. Yeah, it's a nice Uchimata there from Shmailov. Vukicevic got a little bit tied up with the legs there, and Shmailov, who was well balanced, and he was able to come up with that score. So Wazari lead for the Israeli fighter with a little over 3 minutes left to go. Right-sided effort there, probably trying to stretch across for Toshi from Vukicevic, but couldn't get across, and Shmailov was able to block it in the end. Shmailov picked up a Shido, but it's not really going to trouble him that much. Was that the Israeli coach that was asked to go up in the stands? That was quite early on, wasn't it? Should know better. He's a referee as well. Little under 2 minutes to go. Still the Wazari lead for Shmailov. Another penalty picked up by Shmailov, getting a little bit untidy towards the end, and Vukicevic fell into that offside comment. Talk about untidy. He almost got caught there. Just appears to have switched off a little bit. Shmylov. He's got the Wazari lead and coasting a little bit here.
First round under 66 kilogram. In the white for Ukraine, George Kazatsky. And in the blue for Austria, Andrea.
Now, he's really looking defensive there. Terry Claw has got no option but to penalise him for being overly defensive. Third penalty. So he's on a little bit of a knife edge here. If he's not careful, could let this one slip. Almost got caught there with the turnover. Yeah, that should score there. Finish him off. So, Baruch Shmylov of Israel takes that contest. Slightly untidy at times. Maybe he'll tidy up for round two. Well, let's see who we've got coming up next, or where we might want to go to have a look. Andras Jereb of Slovenia is up against Thomas Lissens of Belgium down on mat number 1, and then after that we've got Mustafa Abu Ramadan of Sweden. He's going to face Fujisaka Taro of Japan. We might have a look at that, I suppose, as the next couple of contests to take in. In the meantime, we've got Alberto Gaetero Martin of Spain up against Christian Boshoff of South Africa. It's Gaetero Martin in white and Boshoff in blue. Andras Jereb of Slovenia leads in his contest against Thomas Lissens of Belgium down on mat number 1. So we're going to go down there to have a look and see how that one is shaping up. If you want to have a look at Gaetero Martin and Boshoff, you want to continue looking at that one, just click on number 3 and you'll pick up that action. But we're going to have a look at Andras Jereb of Slovenia in the white judogi against Thomas Lissens of Belgium in blue. It's Jereb who leads by Wazari, and there's a little over a minute and a half left to go. Yereb coming up with a second score there. Andras Yereb into round 2. He'll face the winner of the upcoming contest in round 2. And that is between Mustafa Abu Ramadan of Sweden in the white judogi. He's up against Fujisaka Taro of Japan in blue. Quite sure who it is that we are waiting for down there. Okay, they've both arrived now. Abu Ramadan in the white judogi and Fujisaka in blue. Subdued start from both fighters, and all of a sudden Fujisaka that launches that Uchimata and catches Abu Ramadan. Yeah, I mean, it looked spectacular, but he came down on his side. Yuko was given for the first technique, and that second one again looked spectacular, but he didn't land it flat on his back. And he ended up with Wazari. So 2 scores on the board for Fujisaka, and he's looking like quite an interesting fighter, isn't he? Oh, over goes Abu Ramadan again. He just couldn't get off the third Uchimata effort. A second Wazari for Fujisaka, and that's enough for the Japanese to win that contest. It's Fujisaka who will face Andras Yereb in round 2. Right, coming up on mount number 1, the first of the contests in the under 73 kilo category. Marcel Tsetseră of Romania faces Stadler Adam of Hungary. Tsetseră in the white judogi and Stadler in blue. No scorers yet. Tsetseră in the white judogi and Stadler in blue. Cheers from the adjoining mat as his Hungarian teammate won his contest. That was in the under 73 kilo category. That's Poulet, I think. Yeah. On mat number 2. Yeah, he got caught up in the legs there. Stadler, and managed to give up a Yuko. Got himself in a poor position, and then his legs got entangled. A little over 3 minutes left to go. Single Yuko the lead for the Romanian Tsetseră. Nicely done there. I think it's probably worth a little bit more than Yuko. I thought he had a bit of a better landing than that. Anyway, Yuko is what was given, so 2 scores on the board. Look at it. Looks as though he's got his hands full now. Good strong grip there from Stadler. Couldn't use it though. And he ended up getting caught again. This time he does go over for Wazari. So let's see, I had a little bit of a go at the shimiwaza. It didn't come off. And eventually the referee called mate. There's a minute and a half left to go. 3 scores on the board for the Romanians. A good lead here. And now lovely Ashiwaza. Ends up planting Stadler on his back there. Well, we're going to stay on mat number 1. We're going to have a look at Tato Labang of Botswana. He's up against Lucas Reiter of Austria. It'll be Labang in the white judogi, Reiter in blue. Wow, really big Osoto Otoshi there from Lucas Reiter, burying Tato Labang. And that brings us swiftly to our next contest, and it's the opening contest in the under 52 kilo category. Christian Legentil of Mauritius faces Roxana Ionanca of Romania. It's Legentil in the white judogi, Ionanca in blue. So Legentil of Mauritius goes left-sided with a first tap. A little look at Marote Sionage from Legentil. Again over on the left side as she catches Ionanca for Wazari. A good score and a good lead early on. Joanka just trying to free her hands up and get a grip that she's comfortable with, but finding it difficult. And she picks up a penalty for passivity with a little over 2 minutes left to go. Gentile will be looking to finish this now. Just puts a little bit of pressure on the Romanian, who steps back and out of the area. Avoids getting penalised for stepping out because Gentile was attacking at that time, so that was a legitimate step out. Again, problems with finding a comfortable grip. Roxana Joanka struggling a little bit there. Both fighters being penalised there for passivity. It doesn't really make a great deal of difference to Le Gentile. She leads by Wazari. Well, half a minute left to go. Joanka's got to step things up now. Got to find a way of pulling this score back, but it's Le Gentile who's on the attack. Last few seconds then for Le Gentile to hang on to that lead. Safely negotiated, and it's Le Gentile who makes her way into round 2. She's the number 4 seed here today, so you expected to see her in and around the medal podium. Right, coming up next, Karolina Pienkowska of Poland. She faces Polga Luka of Hungary. It's Pienkowska in the white judogi and Polga in blue. In the under 52 kilo category. Nice effort there from Pienkowska. Looked as though she had a cold this morning when I saw her at breakfast. She looked a little bit under the weather. Not sure if that's the case. Polgar looking to go left-sided with that Sode Tsurikamigoshi, but it's Pinkowska who thought about the Shimiwaza. Got a little bit over-enthusiastic and failed to get her opponent under control. It was left-sided, but a little bit. There's another effort in Newaza. Pinkowska. Not sure what she's complaining about there. Anyway. Two and a half minutes left to go. No score as yet. Pinkowska has looked the busier of the two fighters. Coming up after this, we've got Tamaoki Momo. Pinkowska was looking for the Juju Gatami there, almost a flying effort there, a little bit like her teammate Arleta Podolak, who often attempts that. I haven't seen it work yet, but she does put her opponents under a lot of pressure, and sooner or later it's going to come off. Single Shido picked up by Polgar. And again, Pinkowska on the attack. It's not the tidiest of efforts. She misses out on really threatening Polgar. And again, she goes over on the left side and once more misses out on coming up with a score. But she's busy. And that's going to make Polgar look passive. This time the Tomoinagi effort fails, and I'm sure she'll pick up a penalty this time. Polgar for passivity. Just sort of off the pace, missing the tempo of the contest. Well, that took a while, didn't it, to get that belt tidied up. No penalty. Maybe all the belt tying that went on, Jidogi tidying up, saved her, and Pinkowska again missing out. Polgar looking frustrated with everything. Well, at last we get an effort from Polgar Lucas over on the left side, but it doesn't trouble Pinkowska. And it's all come a little bit too late. The Polish fighter is going to sneak this one on the back of that single Shido. And she did most of the work. Polga came up with that single penalty. And it'll be Piankowska who goes into round 2. We're going to go across to mat number 2 now to take a look at Endo Hiromi of Japan. This is in the under 48 kilo category. Our opening contest. She's up against Alexandra Prop of Romania. Endo Hiromi is bidding to get the set. That was lovely, beautifully done, nice and low on the right side. Morote Seonagi for Wazari. When I say the set, she's won the Cadet World Championship, she's won the Junior World Championships, and she's going to be looking for a Senior World title in the not too distant future. Oh, Wazari. Sorry, has been changed to Yuko. She won the World Masters in Tumen in Russia in 2013. Set her down on the backside there. Not sure if she's going to pick up a score for that. It's given Yuko. Two scores then for Endo. She leads here with half the contest gone. Another right-sided effort there. This time doesn't come up with a score. Tries to engage Pop in a little bit of newaza, but doesn't come off. Now, to add to her problems, Alexandra Pop has picked up a single Shido. With a good strong lead now. Livesey of Great Britain. It's Tamaoki in white, Judohi Livesey in blue. There's no scorers yet. Livesey's picked up a single Shido, and that's the only thing in the contest at the moment.
Next fight, round 32. First round, women under 52 kilograms. In the white for Hungary, Saro Gatica. And in the blue for Spain, Estela Rodashiri.
Well, just a single Shido given up by Becky Livesey. She ran Tamaoki close there in that round one contest in the under 57 kilo category. But it's Tamaoki who comes out the winner, and she'll go into round two. Well, we're going to go to mat number 3 now, because on mat number 3, Telma Monteiro of Portugal faces Siroki Ibola of Hungary. It's Monteiro in the white, judo in blue. Monteiro's been out for quite some time with, I think it was a shoulder injury if I'm not mistaken. That's what they were talking about. She'd been out for quite a number of months, but back now at the right time. Single Shido against the Hungarian Siroki. I haven't seen her before. With 2.5 minutes left to go.
Next fight on 22. First round for women under 57 kilograms. In the white for Germany, Judo. And in blue for Madagascar, Enda Shah. Next fight on 22. First round for women under 63 kilograms. In the white for Great Britain, Lucy Lenshaw. And in blue, from Macedonia, Sabrina Zidrosa. Next fight on 71. First round for women under 63 kilograms. In the white for Great Britain, Amy Ramsey. And in blue for Spain, Jimenez Lopez Aguilera.
We're watching the contest between Katharina Hecker of Australia. She faces Andrea Florian of Romania. It's Hecker in the white judogi, Florian in blue. There's no score as yet, the 3.5 minutes left to go. No chance to get really involved in the Newaza there. Hecker wasn't able to get herself into a good position, strong enough for the referee to allow that to continue. So he called Mate, and they're up, back on their feet again. Well, the number 1 seed in the under 60 kilo category is about to take mat number 2 now. Sharafudin Lutfilayev. Well, we were going to go down there, but it's all over. He's already thrown Sisvovsky Ferenc of Hungary. That's all over. Inside 10 seconds it took to finish that off. He didn't have time to get down there. Should have seen that one coming. Oh well. Shame she didn't go through with that Ashiwaza there. There's a good look at the Eshibarai. Well, Andrea Florian giving Katharina Hecker a good run for her money here. Good effort from Katharina Hecker there with the Ojigari, and she comes up right-sided with the hip technique effort, but that doesn't come off either. My apologies for some of the sound difficulties that we're having. We're trying to get those sorted out now. Thanks for your messages about, just pointing out that it's not coming across very well at home, and again I apologise for that. And when it does work, you can drop me a message and say, yep, it's working well, or it's not working well. I would appreciate it. Thanks for that. Into the last minute then, single Shido against Andrea Florian. Katharina Hecker with the slight advantage at the moment. Our apologies if it's really bad as well, in which case I may speak to our technicians here and say that if it's really that bad, we'd better stop it altogether until we can get it properly sorted out. So my sincere apologies for that. I hope it's not affecting your viewing too much, but if it is, again, just let me know, and we'll cease the audio and just leave you with the visual. Another good effort from Hecker, just threatened momentarily with that Ojigari. Right at the end there, Katarina Hacker was able to secure that Tatisho Gatami for the win. Andrea Florian had fought a good contest. She was down by a Shido anyway. Did enough there to come through in the end. Right, let's see if we're gonna stay here. Coming up next on mount number 3. Sandrine Billier of Belgium. Threatening over there on the right hand side. Tall and leggy for an under 63 kilo fighter. Billier, almost by accident, nearly got hold of Poliak's arm there. And I suppose you can take them whichever way you can. Little over 2 minutes left to go. Still no score as yet. Billier leads by Wazari. Minute 40 odd left to go. As I say, nice and tall, the Belgian. Had a little look at the right-sided Ojigari there, just had Poliak under some pressure for a moment and decided against it. Rishad Sobirov of Uzbekistan has just taken to mat number 2. He's up against Denis Vieru of Moldavia. What's happening on mat number 2? The adjoining mat, yes. We're going to hang on here, because coming up next will be Ilgar Mushkiev and Robinson Beglarashvili of Georgia. Stick around and have a look at that one. So single score for Sandrine Billier was enough to take her through to round 2. She gets past Polyak Kristina of Hungary. Coming up next, Ilgar Mushkiev of Azerbaijan faces Robinson Beglarashvili of Georgia. It'll be Mushkiev in the white judogi, Beglarashvili in blue. I mentioned right at the start of the program that Ilgar Mushkiev won't be going to Rio. It's unfortunate for the young man. He put in a really good effort, but he's in a very difficult qualification group to begin with. That's one problem, and the other problem is that in his own country, Orkan Safarov, the world number 3, is ahead of him. So only room for one fighter per weight category at the Olympic Games, and unfortunately for Mushkiev, it's not going to be him. Both fighters have picked up a single Shido. What we may do is, whilst Mushkiev and Beglarashvili are battling it out, we're just going to sneak across to mat number 2 to have a look and see what's happening with Rishad Sobirov of Uzbekistan. Now, Sobirov is the number 1 seed in the under 66 kilo category, but he trails by Yuka at the moment, Denis Vieru of Moldavia. There's a minute left to go. He's just come up with the big score, just when he needed it most. Can't remember who it was that Vieru gave so much trouble to. So Sobirov looks as though he's back on song. Gives us a chance to go down to mat number 4 to see what's happening with Adonis Diaz of the United States of America. He's up against Aoki Dai of Japan. We'll just see out the last few seconds of Sobirov and Vieru, just in case there are any other surprises to come. Well, as Sobirov finishes off Vieru, so too does Aoki Dai of Japan. He caught Adonis Diaz of the United States of America in Nevaza and finished off with a Nippon win. So Mushkiev and Beglarashvili continue their battle. Gombuts and Vegvari are wrapped up in there. We'll go back to have a look and see what's happening with Mushkiev and Beglarashvili. Oh. Mushkiev, just as we get there, appears to have finished off his Georgian opponent. Right, we're going to get our first look at Cedric Revol of France. He faces Ion Mihailov of Moldavia. It's Revol in the white judogi, Mihailov in blue. for Cedric Revol of France. Leads here at the moment against Ion Mihailov of Moldavia. There's a little over 2 minutes left to go. The Frenchman leads by Wazari, and Mihailov has just picked up a penalty for passivity. Well, Mihailov is going to need a little bit of treatment, so whilst that is taking place, we're going to wander down to map number 1 to see what's happening between Andras Jereb of Slovenia and Fujisaka Taro of Japan. Fujisaka had originally been given Rosario, I think it was for an Uchimata, has now been reassessed as Yuko, so the lead is Yuko with 2 minutes and 50 odd seconds. Jereb, it is, who picked up that penalty for just ducking his head underneath. Last 20 odd seconds then. Fujisaka leading here by single yuko. So, Fujisaka it is, who sneaks past Yareb on the back of that single yuko. We're going to wander down now to see what's happening with Fujisaka's teammate in the under 66 kilo category, Asari Masaya. He's up against Sebastian Seidel of Germany on mat number 3. Seidel it is who's picked up the single Shido. There's no score yet and 3.5 minutes left to go. Asari it is who goes into the quarter-final now, having defeated Sebastian Seidel. Right, let's take a look then at a second look today at Baruch Shmailov of Israel. This is a round 2 contest and he faces Alberto Gaitero Martin of Spain. It's Shmailov in the white judogi, Gaitero Martin in blue. No score yet between Shmylov and Gaetano Martin, but he's about to pick up the penalty. Well, perhaps not. We've got the first quarter-final of the day beginning now on mat number 2. That's in the under 48 kilo category. Tatiana Lima of Guinea-Bissau faces Endo Hiromi of Japan. We're going to wander down there to take a look at that. It's Lima in the white judogi, Endo in blue. Beg your pardon. That was mat 1. There's mat 2. There you go. Sorry about that. This is a good battle for Endo here, trying to work out a difficult opponent. She's experienced and awkward, and she's also motivated because she's off to the games in a couple of weeks' time. Tatiana Lima, she's got her eyes, firmly set on bigger fish to fry than those that she was going to find at the Grand Prix, so she's going to prove a very difficult opponent for the Japanese to get past. almost caught there with the Ashiwaza. I was just about to say that it's important that Lena avoids picking up a penalty. If she can keep a clean sheet, you know. Unfortunately, she just collected a Shido there now. Must come up with a score now in these last 30 seconds. Throw everything at it. That was the last ditch effort there from Tatiana Lima. Unfortunately, it didn't come off. And it's Endo Hiromi of Japan who takes this one. It'll have to be the repechage for Tatiana Lima if she wants to get on the podium. Endo it is who goes in to the semi-final. Well, we're going to stay on mat number 2 because we're going to see a quarter-final in the under 52 kilo. Quarter-final in the under 52 kilo category. It is Malinda Kelmendi of Kosovo. She faces Estrella Lopez Sheriff of Spain. It's Kelmendi in the white judogi, Lopez Sheriff in blue. The Sheriff not really that close enough with that attack to threaten Kelmendi. We haven't faced anyone of Kelmendi's quality before. This is the first of the Spanish fighter. Not in competition anyway, that's for sure.
Next fight on the T1 quarterfinal for women 52 kilograms. In white for Mauritius, Christian Legentil. And in blue for Poland, Carolina Kietkowska.
Yeah, just not quite the landing and finish that Kelmendi would have wanted. Came down for, well, initially it was given Yuko, but that's been upgraded to Wazari, so if you won't be that displeased with that then. So Wazari the lead then for Kelmendi, with 2.5 minutes left to go. Still the Wazari lead for Kelmendi. Ujigari, she couldn't keep hold of Lopez Sheriff to finish. Now the Spanish fighter picking up a passivity penalty. Yeah, Kelmendi looks sharp. She blocked that fairly easily, that effort from Lopez Sheriff. It wasn't the strongest of attacks anyway, but she felt that coming very quickly and reacted to it well. A little over a minute left to go then. Kelmendi leading by Wazari in the first of the quarterfinals in the under 52 kilo category. That'll do. Wazari, Mazzetti Ippon. Linda Kilmendi with a left Ojigari to finish off. The Spanish opponent, Estrella Lopez Sheriff. It's a good effort from the Spanish fighter, to be honest. Kept things interesting for quite a while. Right, coming up next, Marty Malloy of the United States of America faces Safo Choban of Germany. It's Malloy in the white, Judogi Choban in blue. Ooh, dear oh dear. That was a shocker from Safo. Just caught absolutely cold. She just caught absolutely cold. Once in a while it's going to happen to you. Just, oh dear. Malloy got hold of Choban there. Right, we're going to see the quarterfinal in the under 63 kilo category. Tina Trsteniak of Slovenia faces Lucy Renshaw of Great Britain. It's Trsteniak in the white judogi, Renshaw in blue. Good score from Trsteniak there over on the left-hand side, just as Renshaw was looking as though she was nicely settled. Trsteniak got nice and low, good and close and strong on the left-hand side to catch Renshaw for Wazari. So that's the lead at the moment.
Már szőnyegen női 52 kg-os elődöntőben szőnyegen állnak Isztria, Krasnodar, Koszovó és Astrid Néto Franciaország.
Well, that wasn't a bad effort from Lucy Renshaw. Got herself into a good position to attack there. Couldn't quite finish off, though. Maybe the right arm not as deep and as strong as she would have wished. A little over half a minute left to go. Renshaw picked up a second penalty there, this time for a false attack. She's Bazari down and putting up a good fight here. Tried to go left-sided there. But Tersteniak had that blocked. So just the single score picked up by Tersteniak there. A good effort from Lucy Renshaw. She took the current world champion the distance, only coming up with a one error or getting caught once. Tina Tersteniak into the semi-final. It'll be Lucy Renshaw to go down into the repechage.
The reigning world champion from Slovenia, Tina Trsteniak. Next fight of the 22 quarterfinal, men under 60 kg. In white from Uzbekistan, Sharafuddin Lutfilayev. And for France, in blue, Vincent Manquest.
Right, we've got a quarter-final in the under 60 kilo category coming up now. The number one seed, Sharafuddin Lutfilayev of Uzbekistan, facing Vincent Manquest of France. It's Lutfilayev in the white judogi and Manquest in blue. So we come to the business end of the day then, with some really top draw fights being lined up here. Udaka Nae of Japan is up against Joanna Müller of Germany down on mat number 4. That's quarterfinal in the under 57 kilo category. It should make for a good contest. So the French fighter leading by Yuko here. A few things for Lutfulayev to work out, but he's got plenty of time. There's 2 minutes and 40 odd seconds left to go.
Winner on Saturday 1, and in the semi-final for women under 63 kilo from Great Britain, Amy Livesey. Next fight on Saturday 1, quarterfinal, man under 60 kilogram, in white from Kyrgyzstan, Altar Bestaya. And in blue for Georgia, Iraqi Kubatatsa. Fight on Tatami 2, semi-final, men under 66 kg. In white for Uzbekistan, Nishan Sobilov. And in blue for Hungary, Zambori Benchi.
Hármas szőnyegei győz, és ezzel a 63 kg-os elődöntőbe jut. Katarina Heffern, Ausztrália. 60 kg-os negyedöntő következik a hármas szőnyegen. Fehérben Ilgár Muskiev, Azerbajdzsán, kékben Cedric Trevor, Franciaország. 57 kg-os elődöntőbe jutott Udaka Mae, Japán. 63 kg-os negyedöntőben a 4-es tetőre állnak. Estefania Garcia, Ecuador ellenfele, Navekura Nami, Japán.
Sobirov almost silenced the crowd there. Well, he did. Bringing Zambori Benta down there for Ippon.
Négyesen győzött, és ezzel az elődöntőbe jutott Navekura Nami, Japán.
On Saturday 2, the winner, and in the semi-final for men under 66 kilograms. The number 1 on the ranking from Uzbekistan, Initial Sobirov.
Well, we're going to get to see Igor Vantka of Germany for the first time today. He's up against Artem Homula of Ukraine. It's Vantka in the white judogi, Homula in blue. Stay here. Let's have a look at this quarterfinal in the under 73 kilo category. It's Homula who puts the pressure on by giving Igor Vantka a double spanking here, throwing him twice. I think it is a second throw here. I think it is a second throw. Anyway, they've got the replay. They can decide whether there is any advantage, or did Igor Vantka think the action had stopped? No, on we go. 2 scores inside the first half a minute. Igor Vantka trails here.
Winner on Saturday 1 and in the semi-final for men under 60 kilograms. From Kyrgyzstan, Otar Gaslia. Next fight on Saturday 1, quarterfinal men under 66 kilograms. In the white from Slovenia, Adrian Koko. And in blue for Japan, Fujisaka Tada.
Yeah, well, he did. He was just pushing too hard. Detlef Elsch recognises that as well. He's up and out of his chair. He just got caught and countered, and he was just pushing that a little bit too hard, was Igor Vanka. 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go, and he had plenty of time to try and wear Homela down, but didn't happen.
Winner on 72 and in the semi-final for men on the 73 kilograms from Ukraine, Artem Kokola.
Right, we've got a semi-final in the under 48 kilo category now. Endo Hiromi of Japan faces Milica Nikolic of Serbia. It'll be Endo in the white judogi, Nikolic in blue. Let's just have a look and see how the other half of the draw turned out. It was Romain Vin of France, Roman Yin of France. She'll face Violetta Dumitru of Romania. It was Chloe Rayner losing out to Roman Yin, and Papreka losing out to Violetta Dumitru. Maybe a couple of minutes before they come on board, or they make their way down there now. Have a look. Not for the time being anyway, so let's go to mat number 3. We're going to take a look at the contest between Asari Masaya of Japan and Baruch Shmailov. Just going to tidy up our little board. There's mat number 3, that quarterfinal between Asari Masaya and Baruch Shmailov. We've got this lovely thing, it's called the iCaster Layout. Terrific piece of equipment, but it maybe needs charging or something, I don't know. It's beyond my technical abilities. Anyway, Asari in the white judogi, Shmailov in blue. Chief appears to have fixed that now. He's terrific with all things electronic, so I tend to leave it up to him. He can sort those things out. Matthias Fischer, it is, head of IT. We will go down to mat 2 when it's Endo and Nikolic, but for the time being, we'll hang on here and have a look at Asari Masaya and Baruch Shmailov. No chance on the arm here, but Shmailov was lucky to get that out of there just for a moment. Sorry, looked as though he might be ripping off Shmailov's arm.
szőnyegen győztes ezzel a 66 kg-os elődöntőbe jut. Márciás Alexander Franciaország.
Yeah, tight contest here, Asari and Shmailov, and it's Shmailov who picks up a penalty for passivity. Just giving the advantage to Asari.
Winner of 71 in the semi-final for men on the 66 kilogram from Slovenia, Adrian Ropot. Next semi-final or quarter-final, 73 kilo on 71. In white from Romania, Marcel Cercea. And in blue for Ukraine, Dmitro Kanivets.
Minute 20 odd left to go. So just having a bit of a tap at the left leg of Shmailov there. Oh, that was nice, Wazari. Left-sided Seotoshi from Asari Masaya. Now trying to work his way in there for the Jujigatami. He can't get hold of the arm. Either the Jujigatami or an Osai Waza. I'd like to get that left leg across there. He's gone for the Osai Komi. It's the Jujigatami. Didn't need the left leg in the end. Across the body. And that was the more traditional way. I remember that's the way we learnt that, with the left leg, the left foot underneath the body and the right leg going across. It became very, very popular to throw both legs across, but Asari, well, he's a traditionalist. He put the left foot underneath the body and the right leg right across. Good work from Asari Masaya, catching Baruch Shmailov. We'll see Shmailov again, but it'll be in the repechage. Okay, what's coming up next? We haven't seen Endo yet, so we stick around here for yet another contest. This time it'll be Rok Dracic of Slovenia to face Faya Nigia of Gambia. Better talk to him and find out how to get that name pronounced correctly. We'll talk to him a bit later on. Right, Dracic in the white judogi, Njia in blue, or Njia. I think that could be Njia. We'll ask him, or we get ourselves too embarrassed. So, Rok Dracic winning out there over Feja Njia. We'll go and have a chat with him. We've got coming up next then. Semi-final. Maybe they're hanging on a little bit with the semi-finals. I think they are. They're just not bringing people out as yet. We're going to go down to mat number 1 because that's the last of the judo that we've got in the opening rounds. This quarter-final between Marcel Sesia of Romania. He's up against Dimitru Kanivets of Ukraine. It's Sesia in the white judogi, Kanivets in blue. The Romanians picked up 3 penalties. Kanivets just 1, and there's a minute left to go. Last few seconds left on the clock here. Single score would win it for Sesia, but it's Kanivets who comes up with the U-code. And that, I'm afraid, looks as though it's going to be that. Only 4 seconds left to go. No chance for Sesia to get his hands on Kanivets in that short space of time. Right, you've got the choice at home of which mat you want to watch. We're going to stick on mat number 2, I think it is, because we've got Endo Hiromi against Milica Nikolic of Serbia. That's the semi-final in the under 48 kilo category. We then follow that with Milinda Kelmendi of Kosovo against Karolina Piankowska of Poland in the under 52 kilo category, and then Marty Malloy of the United States of America. She's up against Tamaoki Momo of Japan in the under 57 kilo category. Those are the 3 semi-finals, or the first 3 semi-finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes, we will start with the record cards in the semi-finals on all 4 mats.
So we will be on mat number 2 for that action. Endo Hiromi in the white judogi, Milica Nikolic in blue. Stay with us and we'll bring you that action in a moment.
2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go for the next fight on the Budapest Grand-Prix 2016.
Két perc múlva kezdődnek az elődöntők és visszamérkőzések.
Right, here we go then. Welcome back after that short break. Just of a couple of minutes to get things tidied up. We're ready to get underway with the repechage contest and the semi-finals. We're going to pay close attention to the contest taking place on mat 2. The first of these is the first semi-final in the under 48 kilo category. Endo Hiromi of Japan faces Milica Nikolic of Serbia. It'll be Endo in the white judogi, Nikolic in blue. Endo came in here unseeded this morning. Well, if she was seeded number 8. Sorry. She defeated Alexandra Pop of Romania in the first round, and then the number 1 seed, Tatiana Lima, in the quarterfinal. Now, there she is, to face Milica Nikolic. Ochigari, nice start there from Endo. She gets to work on the 21-year-old from Serbia. Chance here for the Sangaku turnover, just missed out there. Still, fancies her chances to work on the ground. 23 years old. Twice the Asian champion, Endo. What a thing that the Japanese have got incredible depth at 48, 52, 57. Real quality fighters there. Asami and Kondo were battling it away for the Olympic place. Kondo won out. Asami twice a bride, I'm afraid. No, twice the bridesmaid. Twice the bridesmaid, is the English saying. Lost out to Fukumi in London, and now Kondo for the place in Rio. There won't be any score there. And they're just trying to work things out against Nikolic. It will be Nikolic who will get the penalty for avoiding to take a grip. Looking for the first Grand Prix medal, Nikolic. Endo should remember this venue really well, because it was in Budapest that she won the first of her world titles. I say the first because she has not only won the Cadet World Championships here in 2009, that was, she also went on to win the Junior World Championships a couple of years later, in 2011. So she's looking to tie things up with a trio of World Championships, and she gets to compete for Japan in the Senior World Championships at some stage, possibly next year again here in Budapest, because next year, 2017, this is where the World Championships will be. So it could very well be that we'll see Endo back in Budapest next year. We won't have a Grand Prix because they'll be busy organising the World Championship, so there'll be no Budapest Grand Prix next year. So we may see Endo back here competing for a World Championships. I'm just going to ask my chief what's going to happen, because he knows about the calendar, the IJF calendar for next year, when the Hungarians will be concentrating on the World Championships. They won't have a Grand Prix. What will happen? Are we replacing it with something else, or is that just not going to be on there? Because they did mention at the draw yesterday that there won't be a Grand Prix. So just a blank then, we just leave that out, yeah. And it's not going to do any damage really to anyone, because although there are always points and qualification points available, by the time that it comes to the back end of the qualification, those points will have disappeared anyway. The points scored in 2017 won't matter any longer. So, and I think it is a difficult thing to put on two really big events in a short space of time. So, but an interesting point anyway. Endo could be back here next year looking for a senior world title. She won here in 2009, and she's just about to win this semi-final and take her place in final of the Budapest Grand Prix. And if we're going to get a chance to chat with her, we can ask her that. I'll give that piece of information to Jack Willingham, who does the interviews for the IJF at the end of the competitions. He can ask Endo whether she likes this venue. I wonder if she remembers. it's where she won in 2009. Right, Endo Hiromi on the single Yuko defeats Milica Nikolic of Serbia. It'll be Nikolic to go and fight for the bronze medal, but Endo goes into the final. Right, we've got the semi-final in the under 52 kilo category coming up next. We're just going to sneak to the adjoining mat 3, that is, to have a look and see what's happening with Roman Yin of France. She's up against Violeta Dumitru of Romania. Won't be any time left here. Oh, decides to take a drop, but it'll only be a single penalty Dumitru had picked up 2 penalties. She loses out in that semi-final. Roman Yin of France goes through, and Dumitru visibly upset about that one. It'll be Yin of France to face Endo in that final. A couple of names I've got to go and ask about. One of them is Roman Yin. I'll just check that.
A hármas szőnyegen győzésével a döntőbe jutott Romain Eileen, Franciaország.
The various commentators, stadium announcers have all had a bash at pronunciation, but I like to go down and ask them myself. So I'll wander into the warm-up area and ask the French and the Gambians. I think they're here.
Semi-final for women under 52 kilograms. In white, 2-time world champion and the current European champion from Kosovo, Judo Grand-Prix. And in blue for Poland, Karolina Jankowska.
Dennis van der Geest is doing the introductions in the stadium. He's just mentioned Malinda Kelmendi. And that's the contest that we're going to see on mat number 2. So let's get ready for that one. Malinda Kelmendi of Kosovo in the white judogi faces Karolina Jankowska of Poland in blue. Nuno Carvalho of Portugal is the referee in the middle for this one. Well, Jankowska may have been up against Kelmendi before. You know about the big left arm coming over there, and her way of thwarting that would appear to be the Sutemi Waza. So as soon as the left arm comes over, look for Jankowska to throw in some kind of attack just to break things up. If he hasn't this time, and there it goes again, yeah, on the arm, why not? She loves that little attempt at Jujigatami, why not? Distria Krasniki, by the way, Kelmendi's teammate, has just won on mat 2, so she's in the final. Could be an all Kosovan final. Well, we know it's going to be an all Kosovan final now because of that huge left-sided Uchimata that buries Jankowska. There you go. Kelmendi and Krasniki to bash it out in the final. Well, whilst we wait for the next contests to come up, we're going to take a look at what's happening down on mat number 4, because there's a repechage contest in the under 52 kilo category, and that's Astrid Neto in the white judogi. She faces Angelica Delgado of the United States in blue. There's no score yet, and there's a little over 2 minutes left to go. That's where we are at the moment. Kelmendi and Krasniki, two Kosovans in the final of the under 52 kilo category. This to decide who goes into the bronze medal contest. So no score as yet. We're into the last minute. Neto and Delgado. Oh, that was neat. Yeah, well spotted there. Yeah, she felt that one coming and took advantage of a poor position from Delgado. She was a little bit slow to see the danger there. And she ended up getting caught. A very good afternoon to Neil Adams. Good afternoon, Neil.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sheldon.
How are you doing? You might need to just get a little bit closer. This morning they were belly aching that they couldn't hear me, but that's nice. Yeah, Delgado just got caught there for that Yuko. Neto caught her nicely as she just hung around a little bit too much in that danger position and had her feet taken away from her. Anyway, she only ended up giving up a Yuko, but there's so little time left that the likelihood of her being able to get anything back is pretty slim. And up until that point, it was Delgado who had the advantage, having not picked up any penalties, but Neto now, with that single score, is going to take it. She'll fight for the bronze medal. I'll tell you quickly, the final of the under 52 kilo categories between two Kosovans.
Wow.
Kelmendi and Krasnicki.
Well, that was kind of half expected, wasn't it, in a way? We kind
yeah.
of looked at it yesterday, and two training partners training together. And, yeah, I mean, junior world champion against world champion. So for me, obviously, the junior always tends to kind of give to the senior, don't they? But whether she'll give it a really good go in the final, good crack in the final, we'll see.
I hope she does. I mean, it'd be a real shame for her to just roll over and play dead. But, we've seen that there are certain countries who the coaches just disappear and hide because they know it's going to be a smack 'em up, bash up thing. Like the two Germans get out there, it's carnage. If Karl Richard Frey has to fight Dimitri Peters, it's one that Detlef Olsch doesn't want to look at because he knows it's going to be a punch up. Whereas I'm not going to shy away from it. We've had instances where we've had the two Russians fighting and one's come out and said, "Oh, that was a slip," and he cleaned the roof with his feet or something.
Yeah, not always as we would like the fights to be. We're never quite sure what we're going to get, are we? Sometimes you have a real battle royal, and at other times you don't. But it's funny though. It's a funny atmosphere here, isn't it? It's not a funny atmosphere, but it's an atmosphere of it all beginning again. I was thinking.
I mentioned that this morning that you had said that because something came out that was absolutely clear. He doesn't want us to mention his name. Udo Kvelmals is up there. Yeah. So it's too late. Your name is out. We had to mention it, and having mentioned it, Neil's going to say hello to you. And so that's the best way to do it. Hang on.
So I'd just like to say a big hello to our former Olympic and world champion Detlef.
Udo.
Yeah, Udo.
Yes.
I get it right.
Neil, all good, nice to see you. And I don't want to disturb your busy commentating here. And who is at the? I can't see at the moment. Okay.
Against La Gentile.
Why I led it to you because you're the man. 1 second.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you, my friend.
Nice to see you, though. Is this the young Mr. Kvelmals? Really? Oh, he's got his son here, and Mrs. Kvelmals is here. Nice to see you. Hey, big man, what's up? No worry. We're always glad to have guests up here. Yeah, the nice thing about Udo is he's always shy. He's always like, you shouldn't really be somewhere, or you shouldn't come and say hello or whatever.
Well, that's a remarkable thing. A great champion as well. Two-time world champion, Olympic champion.
Super, yeah.
Wow.
Nice effort here from Le Gentil, just putting the pressure on. The reason that this contest has still got 2 minutes to run is that Sheriff Lopez, the Spanish fighter, had to change her gi. So that took a bit of time. Oh, sorry, the t-shirt got ripped, so they had to come off, and they can't do it on the mat edge, so they had to go all the way out to the warm-up area. So that took a bit of time. So that's why this contest is a little bit delayed, and that's why the others are having to wait. They're going to run all the semi-finals all together, and it's only 1:45. We've got plenty of time.
But you said that the under 52's already sorted.
The under 52 semi-final is, they're doing them by weight categories. So we've got the last 52 repechage contest. The other repechage contest was there, and the two semi-finals are in the middle. So that was 52 done. This is a hangover. And then what will happen is we'll have all 57s, 2 repechage contests, and then the 2 semi-finals in the middle. Marty Malloy is going to face Tamaoki Momo of Japan, and it'll be Tama Montero to face Udaka Nae. And, you get a feeling of the old and the new. Other than, Udaka and Tamaoki, they're going to be the bodies around at 57. They've got another fighter there waiting in the wings as well, Deguchi Krista. So maybe she'll be in the mix, because this will undoubtedly be the last that we'll see of Matsumoto. Lejontil coming up with slightly off the other side score there, but she's not going to worry about it. Picks up Wazari, and that's a nice lead with a minute left to go. Yeah, so that's Neil's point that he made not only yesterday off air, but just as he came on here, about this is the beginning of the cycle for Tokyo, oddly enough. We haven't finished the Rio cycle, but he's absolutely right. There are fighters here for whom these are the first points to be scored to help them when that next cycle begins immediately after Rio. They'll already be on the ranking list. They'll look for their place to be seeded, gather more points, go up the ranking list, go to various tournaments and what have you. So there's all that to come.
This is where it all starts, isn't it, now? Directly after Olympic qualification's all finished, then the next events, it's all about putting youngsters out and starting the whole process. But
here's a beauty for you. This is where it all starts. I think that's terrific, because Endo Hiromi, who will probably end up as she was cadet world champion, junior world champion, and she's in the final here. She just defeated the number 1 seed, Tassiana Lima of Guinea-Bissau, who's going to the games, one of the top 10 fighters in the world. She just, knocked her off fairly easily. Jean Thiel may squeeze out an Osai Komi here as well, just to, make matters worse. She won the Cadet World Championships in 2009 in this venue.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So, and next year's World Championships are here in Budapest. So if she wins here, Jack's going to ask her, I'm going to persuade Jack Winham to go and ask her in the interviews afterwards whether she likes this venue or not, because could be next year World Championships. Well, if she takes that, sets herself up in the driving seat for Tokyo 2020. It's a long way off, but Neil, I'll come back to Neil's point. It must start somewhere. This is where it starts. It starts right here with the chance of points.
Well, we've got a British team here as well, that a lot of youngsters out there and being blooded, and I often say that it's very important. Obviously, they've got to be able to maintain the pressures of a tournament of this level, but it's very important that they get blooded early and that they can get the feel of world-class fighters. I mean, the nice thing about this, a lot of the youngsters out against people that are going to be going to the Olympic Games, Olympic possibilities.
Yeah. There's a nice mix here, just enough. I mean, it's weighted towards. It's heavily weighted towards the new people coming in, and at the lower end. But there's such a nice sprinkling of high-quality fighters, and you're seeing that as we get towards the business end of the day. That there's that hint in the air. Can there be an upset? Is there something special that's going to happen? Well, we'll see. I think there was one earlier on, just the one, but most of it has gone to plan. We're going to watch the contest between.
Well, you've got a choice, haven't you?
Yeah.
Malloy or Tamaoki?
Malloy and Tamaoki, or Montero and Udaka, and we haven't seen Montero fight for so long. So even though I said we were going to stick on mat 2, we are going to go to mat number 3. That was Safo Choban of Germany and Novavova of Turkmenistan. But we're watching the contest between Tomo Montero of Portugal in white, Udaka Nae of Japan in blue. If you want to see the contest between Marti Malloy and Tamaoki Momo, just click on 2. You'll be able to watch that. And those of you that want to watch Ebba Glass of Sweden and Joanna Müller of Germany, you can click on 4. So we're rather relaxed at the moment.
Yeah,
with,
two good
with the choices.
Semi-finals, just at the same time, always happens, doesn't it? Marti Malloy, of course, going for a second Olympic medal at the next Olympic Games, 3rd place in London, but she's fighting Tomoyoki. The up-and-coming Japanese fighter, would you say?
Yeah, although I think at 57, the depth that the Japanese have in young fighters is going to prove a little bit too much for her. Udaka has already won one world title. You've got Deguchi Krista, who's in there, and I think the scary one for them, whose name we haven't mentioned yet, was already a cadet and junior world champion at 57. So she could be in there and cause more of a problem. I think that's where I would go with the choice for the Japanese. One of those 3, and maybe not Tamaoki. I know it sounds a bit odd, but you've got Yoshida, who gets the pick over Matsumoto. Matsumoto's only a few places ahead of her, but you're going to go with the current Olympic champion, aren't you, and double world champion. So Matsumoto and Yoshida, and then there's Udaka, who's
former world champion,
who we're watching now, and then my pick is Yamamoto Anzu for later on. That is real quality. And we haven't even come as far down as...
how nice to have that amount of depth.
Yeah.
We see them put them out all the time, don't we? Just all these Japanese fighters, young Japanese team here. And, Sheldon said to me at the beginning of the day, he said, you watch them, they're going to clean up here. They'll get a load of medals. Yeah. And I think he's right.
I think what happens is there are certain, and for me it's more with the women. The gap as you go further down gets bigger and bigger with the women. The women have a lot of depth. If you send the Japanese number 6, he gets found out. You can't go that far down. Whereas the Japanese could send their number 5 or 6 in certain weight categories and still compete at the very highest level in the women, not the men. You can't send the Japanese number 6 and expect to fight, Peters and Fry and those guys in 100 kilos. No way. They can just about manage it with their number 1s. So the men don't appear to have the same. They've got numbers, but they don't have the quality in the depth. Whereas the women, we can see it here. You're going to see Malloy, you're going to see Montero. These are high-quality players who are going to find it tough against the number 3 or 4 Japanese or the number 1 or 2 junior. The women really have something that little bit special.
I think Montero having a real problem here.
She's been off for so long, hasn't she?
She has. She's just off the pace. How often have we seen it when they come back into an event and then they're off the pace, pick up the Shidos? I remember we saw it, didn't we, with DeCos when she came back after her Olympic title. She wanted to do a year afterwards. And there it is. Look at that. That's a Wazari. Beautiful Wazari there from Udaka. Soto. And whips.
She got whipped
Montero
over, didn't she?
She
Yeah.
really did. Montero just manages to stop the Ippon. So Udaka all over Montero. Just 3 seconds left, and it looks like she's going to go through to the final.
8 months she's been off for. There are a couple of things that won't hurt her too much. There'll be a little bit of pride that she got slapped over by Udaka, but the thing is, she's got another fight, you know, and it's the next fight that's going to be important for her, because she's going to want to get out there, have another bash, you know, and really give it something.
Well, I think it's important that people know that there is a lot of fighters here that are here just to pick up as many contests as they can, just to, you know, preparation for the Olympic Games.
It was nice at the end, wasn't it? You know, Daka, you know, put her arm around her, and she knows who she's fighting. You know, Daka knows the quality of the fighter, and she's also probably aware of the length of time that she's been out. There's no way that Japanese are going to put her on the mat and not tell her exactly what's gone on. So she, you know, she gave her that kind of, that's okay, I understand, you know, it's not going to happen every week like this, but...
Well, it's going to be an all-Japanese final there.
Is indeed.
Malloy, just lost 2 Shidos to 1.
Yeah, so we won't have to jump to any mats, as Neil just said. Malloy losing out by 2 Shidos to 1 to Tamauki. It'll be Tamauki and Udaka. And as we've seen with the Japanese, that'll be a bang-em-up contest. They're just going to leave that to them. Right, let's have a look at the... We're really only going to concentrate on the semi-finals. You've got the choice at home of watching Tina Trsteniak of Slovenia, the world number 1 and current world champion. She's up against Amy Livesey of Great Britain, or Katharina Hecker of Australia. She faces Nabekura Nami of Japan. We're going to stick to mat number 2. Current world champion Tina Trsteniak is up against Amy Livesey. It'll be Trsteniak in white, Livesey in blue, and there's another British fighter down on mat number 1, Lucy Renshaw. She's in the repechage contest against Szabo Francisca of Hungary. That's on mat number 1. And then down on mat number 4, Sandrine Billier of Belgium faces Estefania Garcia of Ecuador. Here's Neil with Trsteniak and Livesey.
Well, Trsteniak, you never quite know what you're going to get, do you? I mean, at first we saw her start to dominate the category, and then we saw her lose a couple, which kind of surprises everybody in the manner of which she lost them. Then came back, beat everybody again, and I wonder whether she has the ability to... I mean, she definitely has the ability to win the Olympic gold medal, Trsteniak, but will it all go right? You know what the Olympic Games is like. It can go terribly wrong, but it'll be interesting here to see how Amy Livesey fights her. Yuko there, straight away for Trsteniak.
There's so much going for Trsteniak. She does not now have the pressure of being the first Slovenian, female with the opportunity to win a gold medal. That's gone because she's got that card, if you like, in the chair. You know, she's got Urška Zolnja. She's got good coaching staff in Fabian Marian. She's got that whole Slovenian setup, which is quite heavily weighted towards, preparing, high quality female judoka. There is Fabian in the chair. So there are lots of pluses for Trsteniak. Not least of all, she's demonstrated that she can beat everybody in the world, go in there as world number 1, which Zolnja didn't do. Urška Zolnja, they didn't go in there as the world champion or as the world number 1. Trsteniak is actually in a slightly better position.
It'll be quite amazing, actually, if he gets 2 Olympic champions back-to-back, won't it?
In the same weight category.
Absolutely, yeah, amazing.
There's no taking away from him, though. He can produce, and they're branded with the similar kind of style. I was pointing this out to someone the other day. Krasniki doesn't fight like Kelmendi, and Zhakova doesn't fight like either of the two, but they're all from his club. But he produces, different fighters, whereas, when you've seen one Fabian Marian fighter, you've seen them all. You're not going to get anything different.
No. Well, they're fighters, aren't they? Trsteniak, they're just doing enough. Look how aggressive she is.
Yeah.
She's just so aggressive with it. Got a handful with Amy Livesey, though. Livesey doing well. Just a Yuko down, 1 minute 52 in this semi-final.
Just in the last year, maybe year and a half, I thought that Trsteniak was beginning to shake off that label of being, Slovenian. She came up with a few different things and did a few different things, and I think but that was also down to the coach to say, hey, we don't want to be branded and seen, and everybody knows exactly what we're doing. You're going to have to pick up a few different things and add them to your repertoire.
Well, that was a close one there. Amy Livesey on the attack there. Trisniak had to twist out. So not giving up easily. 1 minute 19 seconds left. Well, she's not just rolling over, not by any means here, is she? She's really giving it a good fight, Amy Livesey.
And Lucy Renshaw did as well earlier on. She only lost by a single score. That was a nice little turn there, wasn't it? It didn't really come off, but you could see the thinking, and maybe in the next couple of weeks you'll get sharper with that and to bang someone over in the Olympics with it. You watch.
Well, that's what we want at this stage with the young boys. Oh my goodness, that was very close there. I was going to say, you want to see them on the attack and being competitive, and Trisniak there had to somersault out there to avoid that. 35 seconds left, and Livesey going forward.
Tap of Ashi was there, almost the Ashi Barai there, but Trisniak ended up being a little bit more solid on her feet than Livesey may have expected.
Well, left against right, right-handed Livesey. Trisniak going extreme left there. 12 seconds, and she's on the retreat now. Trisniak. Well, I think it's going to be all over, but that was a really close one there from Livesey. Penalty right at the death there, but it won't make any difference.
She's gone for it! Whoa!
Well, that was close, wasn't it? It really was.
Just a little bit of a turn. And a Yuko would have done it because of the penalty picked up there.
Yeah,
got herself into a really good attacking position there.
Yeah, really went on the attack there. And when you consider that Trisniak will definitely be contesting the Olympic title, and
current world champion. Yeah. That's the second time today that a British fighter has given up one score and lost just on the single score.
Was amazing, yeah. Livesey as well was going for the win. That was a terrific performance from her, and she'll be fighting for third place now. She'll go straight back down
into the bronze medal match. I mean, it will be two. I mean, Lucy Renshaw has just taken the contest down on mat number 1 against Jabo Francisca. So you're going to have two British fighters fighting out for the bronze medal matches. You can have both the girls on there. They could both end up 5th. That's not a bad effort from them. I was impressed with those two performances. Dennis Stewart was in the chair for Amy Livesey. Well, they're not hanging around this time. They've come straight off the mountain, and we've got the men now in the under 60 kilo category. The number 1 seed, Sharafuddin Lutfilayev of Uzbekistan, faces Otar Bestayev of Kyrgyzstan, and then on mat 2 it will be Cedric Revol of France to face Aoki Dai of Japan. We're going to stick with Lutfilayev of Uzbekistan, given that he's the number 1 seed. And unfortunately for him, he won't be going to the games because his teammate, Diobek Urazboyev, is ahead of him. He's going to go.
Yeah, they've got depth, haven't they? The Uzbeks in this category, under 60 kilograms.
Yeah. Where is Udo Kvelmals at the moment? Do you know? Is he?
Well, it was nice, wasn't it, to see Udo just after so long. Of course, he was in the UK for quite some time.
Where is he? Is he coaching somewhere now? Or I don't know. I should have asked him.
I heard he was at school and he was teaching.
Oh, yeah, in schools, yeah. When they finish their cricket careers as another sport, lots of schools take them up because there is high-level cricket in a lot of schools, especially if grammar or public schools. We don't have that outlet, you see. If we had, judo in the UK as part of the curriculum, that there would be a requirement for many, many more judo teachers. Such a shame because, there isn't that employment opportunity. It's not widespread. I know that there are some areas that have some, judo in schools, but there's not really going to make a living there, can you?
Not really.
Well, not a good one anyway. Yeah.
Somebody's going to go here.
Yeah.
These two are just hooking up and ready to explode. I've seen him a few times, Bestiev, and he's got some really good, unusual pickups, scooping underneath the armpits. But so is Litfiliev, and Litfiliev can throw as well.
I like him. He's a nice fighter. He's got there's a degree of flexibility in his movement as well. That's sort of real Eastern block. There's a left Uchimata that just misses out there.
They're both looking for their grip underneath the armpits. I just see a big, massive hip on there from Muskiev against Barpa of Hungary.
Down on map 4 in the repechage contest. That puts Muskiev into the bronze medal match. I think he's hurt his elbow a little bit in executing that technique. Trying to flex it and get some feeling back into it, the right kind of feeling. He's got the wrong feeling at the moment. That was down on mat number 4, Ilgar Mushkiev of Azerbaijan, another fighter who's in there in the top 10, but won't be going because they've got Orkan Safarov.
Again, depth in the lighter weight categories. The other semi-final, Revolt of France against Aoki of Japan in this under 60 kilos. Just one Shido against Revolt.
He keeps going for that left Uchimata, doesn't he?
He's got a lovely left Uchimata. Yeah. He's got to watch the pickup though, because and
to get turned,
the counter as well.
Yeah. He catches him this time. Bestayev hasn't seen the end of it. He fancies that he turned him over. Well, he hadn't actually, because he ends up getting turned himself. So he couldn't possibly come up with a score. He's gesticulating and everything, but it's either Lutfilayev's score or no score at all. But for me, Lutfilayev, and now the coach is now getting desperate. He realises, hang on a minute, let's not beg for a score for ourselves.
Well, I agree with Bestiev, though. I don't think it was a score. I agree with you, and I think sometimes just a little bit too ahead, aren't they, really, with some of the refereeing decisions.
Yeah, so they take that one away. Yeah. So no score then. Bestayev still leading with that single Yuko, but there's plenty of time, and given the nature of Lutfilayev, we know he's going to be putting the foot down.
Well, absolutely. He's going to come forwards now. Looking for the Uchimata all the time. I think it's going to be a switch to the other flank that will catch Bestiev.
He's got that little Kouchi as well. I think could be dangerous if he really commits to it. He sells him first with the Uchimata, and then he was looking, wasn't he?
Just looking for the Uchimata just one time too often, I think.
Yeah.
Bestiev definitely has the measure of it.
Single Yuko, the lead, minute 20 odd.
Needs to go over to the other flank. It's just plugging away all the time, like going down the left wing all the time.
Yeah, and Bestayev can see it coming. Nothing new now. A single penalty, and that's not going to help Lutfilayev at this point.
Yeah, he knows it as well. It's a minute's work just to hold on to this.
He hasn't got that switch that we saw Tersteniak attempt, where she attempted the Sutemi was on the other side. A nice change of direction. Everything's one-sided here. Everything's over on that left side.
I have told a lot of people actually that we're doing the commentary, the joint commentary for the evening session, but of course, because it's a two-feed competition here, it's only on over 2 days. We have two different broadcasts that we're going to be doing, but it's back to normal, I think, in Mongolia.
Time's running out for Lutfilayev here. Stayev has worked a little bit of a con on him, I think. Giving him some kind of belief that he was being shaken up by the Uchimata Koichi possibilities, when really didn't happen.
Well, this is it. 1 second to go. He's going to get a third penalty. He should get a third penalty there. And I'm really surprised that he didn't get it. He just dropped onto his hands and knees. Whether it's 1 second before the end, they've got to give it.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be Bastayev of Kyrgyzstan in the final, and he'll face Aoki Dai of Japan, who's just defeated Cedric Revel of France by 2 yukos. Well, a disappointment for Lutfilayev. He couldn't work it out. 5 minutes to, try and find a way past the difficult Kyrgyzman, but it didn't happen. That means we can move smoothly into the under 66 kilo category setup. And the semi-finals are Rishod Sobirov of Uzbekistan. He faces Adrian Gombots of Slovenia. And then on mat number 3, it's Asari Masaya of Japan is up against Alexander Mariak of France. We're going to stay here on mat 2 to see, double world champion at under 60 kilos. He's moved up to 66 now. Rishod Sobirov, and an Olympic bronze medalist. He's got plenty of pedigree.
Well, I think the thing about Sobirov is Sobirov can turn a contest on a dime, can't he? He can just switch a technique, and it's a millimetre away from the ground. Looks like he's going to go over, and then he turns it. And he has that brilliant gymnastic ability to be able to do that.
His situation reminds me a little bit of Georgi Zantaraya, who, when he first went up from 60 to 66, got such a smacking that you thought, well, that he's done now. He Zantaraya.
Had a job to adapt to the weight, didn't he? And I think Sobirov had more of a problem with it, actually. But
height-wise as well, because he didn't have the same. You see, at least Georgi had that little bit of height, but Sobirov's always been shorter than all the rest of them. I don't know whether that really comes into it, but he's considerably shorter, whereas Zantaraya just had to put on that little bit of weight, and he was struggling at 60 to keep the weight anyhow. So he must have been delighted to be able to eat.
It's a different balance, the whole thing is a different balance. You're throwing a different weight, proportion difference as well, and it makes such a difference.
Well, here he is now, comfortable at 66 kilos.
At least we think he is.
Yeah, the other thing was that we know that the Uzbeks have got fighters at these weights, and he had to get past some of his teammates, and he eventually did. But I think the organisation, their federation, fancied him in that spot if he could prove that he could do it. It was never going to. They were never just going to hand it to him. He had to be the better of the 2 or 3 fighters that they had in that weight category, and he ended up, proving that.
Well, he's got great change of direction as well, Sobirov. Just watch out for his opportune stuff, because it's the stuff that Gombok, if he doesn't attack 100% commitment, he's going to pay the price here. Soborov has a change of direction, fights left, and then he goes Yoko Otoshi, so watch out for that. Duck his head underneath the armpit, and he'll wait for the right moment.
Joshka Zolniak is in the chair for Adrian Gombok. I'm interested to see how they make that mix. Who gets who? Which of the fighters?
Well, they all must be working together, mustn't they, in that unit? Anybody that's ever gone there comes away saying it's the hardest physically that they've ever trained. And I think it's a bit of a boot camp. It's judo boot camp. That's putting it mildly. Well, he's trying to attack that front leg there of Gombok Soborov. And I still think it will be the Yoko Sotemiwaza, the Yoko Otoshi off to his left-hand side that will score him, Soborov. All left at the moment, then he'll duck underneath at the right moment.
Asari Masaya of Japan has defeated Alexander Mariak of France, so it'll be Asari in the final. We just need to see whether it's going to be Gombok or Sobirov who comes up against the Japanese.
Well, there'll be three Slovenians in semi-finals, all back-to-back. Jack Draxic just about to step out in the under 73 kilos semi-final.
Rocky's turn next.
Great indicator, actually, that their training is... Well, you can see why they're here. They're here for as many matches as they can get.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody was ready to pick up there, and Soborov was just thinking of changing the direction. And I said that Gombok will have to really go in 100%, otherwise he will pay a big price.
I'm going to leave Neil with the commentary here. I'm just going to check on the Gambian, Fea Njia, because I haven't seen his name before. I want to get that right. I'll be straight back. Here's Neil.
So 1 minute 39 and just one Shido each. Rishid Soborov of Uzbekistan and Adrian Gombok of Slovenia. All evens here, one Shido each. Well, he tries the reverse Seanagi there, Gombok. Even the men tend to fight the same. They have the same physicality and just keep going forwards all the time. Like Sheldon said, they all have a particular style of fighting, the Slovenians. That's because they're all training together 24/7. Well, again, Soborov just looking to duck underneath that left side of Gombok. Two Shidos now to Soborov, so he's just behind in this match. He knows that, he realizes that. We've only seen him drop to the other side just one time, Soborov. I think he's going to come now. 22 seconds left. One Shido behind. Gombok just needs to make sure a couple of good attacks, and he might just upset this. Rishid Soborov attacks the leg again with the Kosoto and just manages to ride it, and Adrian Gombok of Slovenia looks like it's going to be their second finalist. Well, he got mugged there, didn't he? Soborov gets mugged. And he'll look at that and just think, well, what did I do wrong, really? It's just Shido's deciding the match, and never a good thing. The one thing I think that is going to be addressed after the Olympic Games is the amount of penalties and the regularity of the penalties deciding major matches, which is a crying shame, especially as we're after positive scoring opportunities. But congratulations there to Gombov. Slovenia, he goes through to the final. So to semi-finals now in the under 73 kilograms. We're going to stop here with Kamula of the Ukraine versus Kanivets of the Ukraine. So an all-Ukrainian semi-final, 5-minute contest. The other semi-final, Rok Draxic of Slovenia against Maciej of Georgia. And what do you want? I think what we'll do is because we've got definitely going to be Ukrainian in the final, we know that for sure. So let's go to Rok Draxic of Slovenia against Kečešvili of Georgia, and Draxic is in white.
And down on mat number 4, I found out that it's Feir Yai. That's how you pronounce his name. The Gambian. He's got no coach with him. He's just gone out there on his own. Imagine that.
Well, always difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you are. You're out on your own, but
it's not a bad little boy, actually. You know, he's given a good performance today. He's in with a shout. You never know where they're training, you see. They could be spending 6 months at the OTC, the Olympic Training Camp, and, you know, working with everybody. Or here in Budapest, you know. I mean, the IJF have got so many different places for them to go to.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? You know, that we've got. I mean, one of the biggest problems, I think, for all of the judoka outside of the big countries with depth in the country is that they just haven't got training partners, no sparring partners, or lack of. I mean, for me, definitely, minimum was 35-minute randas a week, absolute minimum, and maximum before major tournaments, it was up to 75-minute randas in a week. And a lot of these are not getting that. In between competitions, lucky if they get 20.
Yeah, and the other thing is, what would the quality be?
Well, that's another thing, and a really good point there, Sheldon, is of course quality. Brown belts and green belts at the club, I'm afraid, don't count. You know, not when you're talking this level. You know?
So, are you saying all those times you spanked me, it didn't count then?
That's different. I was always calm.
Nice comeback, nice comeback. It could have been a fitness thing, you know, just to have someone at the end of your arms.
Exactly what it was.
Single Shido picked up by Rok Draxic. There's plenty of time. Kečešvili with a slight advantage at the moment. Reflected on the scoreboard, but more so from his demeanour. You can see it. He fancies this, doesn't he, the Georgian? Look.
Well, I was going to say, it's interesting to see some new Georgians out as well, isn't it? But same style. Look at the arm over the back there. There's no difference there, is there?
Rocky finding it a little bit difficult to move Kečešvili there. He's just getting to that end of his career as well, isn't he? Draxic 2 years ago.
Well, especially, I mean, you know, they don't call him Rocky for nothing. You know, it's all out physicality for him. You know, to fight like that every single match is hard work, and it takes it out of you.
And he did all of those things. You look at his Grand Prix and Grand Slam list, the whole thing. He was so busy. And almost like suffering some burnout. Oh.
Well, interesting, this Kečešvili, because like you said, he really does fancy it. He's out here not realising, I think, what kind of level Draxic is.
Yeah, I think this was a better one to have a look at. Dracic and Katsiashvili, Komilou and Kanivets. As Neil said, we're going to see one of them anyway. And then the Yai Gorley contest down on mat number 4, the repechage contest there. It's Gorley of Sweden who leads by a single Yuko. Igor Vandka, slightly disappointing today. Almost got caught with the Ashi buzzer there.
Yeah, no, he's actually dominating this match with the grips and just his posturing. The whole thing about the posturing, he really is just taking the fight to Dracic, and he's having a real problem here. Two penalties you can see, and that's almost a score there with that Ouchi, lovely Ouchi. Not quite. Dracic just manages to turn, but with 1 minute 37, has he got the puff to hold on? Because Dracic's going to come for him.
Naya has just scored Wazari down on mat number 4. The Gambian leading the Swede now with 1.5 minutes down there. That wasn't the strongest of Serenagi efforts ever, was it?
He's outpowered here, and you can see it just by the body language there. Katsiashvili dominating. The only thing that would catch him is a Yoko Satemi or something just a little bit tricky from Dracic.
David Kevkishvili in the background there, shouting over the shoulder of Lasha Gojigiani. There's Jojoliani, the whole makeup of not only coaches but the technical staff of the Georgian group there.
Well, that's a great thing, isn't it, with the Georgians? There's the president of the Georgian Federation right in there.
Screaming like a nutcase.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there he is, look. Being held down, he made a mistake. He was dominating the match, Katsiashvili, and it was always going to be something tricky, a little bit of experience there from Dracic, and not always well known for their newaza, some of the Georgians.
Yeah, it was a pity, really. I mean, he'd done everything that he should have, and then right at the death, he makes, as Neil says, a simple error, and Rocky's in there like a hungry dog with a bone. He just grabbed hold of that and managed to steal it. He did, didn't he? He stole it from him in the end. Everything was looking good for
Yeah,
Katsiashvili.
he definitely went against the run of play there, didn't it? Katsiashvili was well ahead. Inexperience. I think Dracic will be glad that he won't be going to the Olympic Games.
No, but instead of Katsiashvili, it'll be the current Olympic champion at under 66 kilos, Lasha Shavdatuashvili, that he might have to come up against. He might fancy another go with Katsiashvili, given that he's just beaten him. So we've got a couple of contests still running at the moment. Let's go and do Yai the favour, because we mentioned him. He's down on mat number 4. Feya Naya Yae of Gambia. He's in the white judogi. Frederick Gorley of Sweden in blue. Gorley scored first with Yuko. Yae came back with Wazari, and it's now the Gambian leading and looking, tidy.
Yeah, well, like you say, what an event. I mean, it is a Grand Prix event, and here he is. He might just be fighting for third place here, and he is. Yeah, he's just, the seconds have ticked away. Naya is going to be fighting for a bronze medal. So, world ranking points, and at one of the major events as well. It's not like he picked it up in his own continent.
He will be fighting for the bronze medal from Germany, Igor Vodka.
Well, we will bring you all of the action at 5 o'clock. Let's just say goodbye properly here. We'll be back in, what is it now, two and a half hours. We'll just tidy up our sheets here, and then we can run through who the finalists are. Let's do the under 60 kilo category for men. Ota Bastayev of Kyrgyzstan will face Aoki Dai of Japan. That's the final of the under 60 kilo category. We want to say anything about Bastayev there?
No, well, I mean, always dangerous. So you can never tell, can you, which way that's going to go. But it will be an all-out open contest, because they'll both be going for it. So that would be a good thing. That's not me sitting on the fence. I mean, I don't know the fighters that deeply, but from what I've seen, it's going to be all-out attacking match.
Yeah, I look forward to that one. And then we've got Richard Sobirov of Uzbekistan to face Asari Masai of Japan in the under 66 kilo category. Asari, I have to admit, haven't seen a great deal of him.
And again, I'm going to go for experience here. I think Soborov's going to have too much for him, and I don't think it's going to be easy. And I think he'll just catch him with one of his tricky little things, a little bit like we saw with Draxit just now.
Right, we're going to hang on for the under 73 kilo category because I didn't get to see whether it was Canivets or Homela. So maybe our chief can tell us that one. It's okay. We've got time. We've got time. We're going to do the four categories. So which one of the Ukrainians went through to the final? Before we do that, let's take a look at the final of the under 48 kilo category. Endo Hiromi of Japan faces the young French fighter Roman Yin. Well, that is going to be a tough ask.
Well, as you said at the beginning of the day, Endo, you said, is going to do the business, and she's back after injury and she's doing it well. So
we've got the two Kosovans in the under 52 kilo category.
It's got to be Kelmendi. I think obviously they train together, but I think it'll be Uki.
Yeah.
Tori.
Kawai. Okay.
I think it might be.
Under 57 kilo categories, another one nation matchup. This time it's Udaka Nae of Japan to face Tamaoki Momo, her teammate.
Udaka, for me, is the favourite for that.
Yep.
And I think she'll have too much for the former world champion.
And then we've got Tina Trstenjak of Slovenia to come up against Nabekura Nami of Japan.
Again, tough match. Trstenjak, I think, will have too much for her. Will just keep plugging away, and I think she'll just grind again.
And then we can come back to the under 73 kilo category because Matthias Fischer has told me that it is Canivets who made it through to the final, defeating his teammate Homela. So it'll be Canivets against Dragic in the final. And Rocky just squeezed that one. Canivets has looked reasonably good during the day. I think it's going to be a big ask for Rocky to take Canivets in that final.
I think Canivets is probably favourite.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to your company at 5 o'clock. I think Neil and I are going to be doing something before that, a little warm-up thing.
We are going to do a little warm-up, and what I said before is that we're actually not commentating together.
Oh, okay.
That's because we have two feeds. That's the way it works at this event, and but it's only going to be for this one. Next week in Mongolia, we are together as normal.
We shall see you at 5 o'clock. Bye for now. Bye.